Hey ladies, okay, we are working on the dumbbell snatch next. So we've covered the clean. The snatch is very similar as far as what's moving the weight, our hips and our glutes, right? So we're not muscling. I see it all the time, people doing snatches, but you're muscling it up and we're not using our hips. We want it to be explosive and powerful where your hips are moving the weight.
As you can see, the starting position, my hips are back, my shoulders are over my knees, and I'm loaded up right below my knees. From here, I'm going to snap my hips and let that dumbbell slide all the way up my body and punch it up over my shoulder. As the dumbbell comes back down, make sure that you are not letting it get far from your body. This is very common. I see this all the time. So notice how much space is in between the dumbbell and my body. Now in this next rep, you'll see that I go ahead and the line of motion in the dumbbell is the same on the way up as it is on the way down. So notice how close that dumbbell is to my body on the way up. And you'll see that as I come down, it's going to stay close to my body the entire time. So I'm coming down now and my body and the dumbbell stays close in a direct line the entire time. So make sure that you're not letting that dumbbell get far away from you, either up or down in the movement.
In a snatch, a few things to remember. Keep the weight close to your body. You should be sliding it up your body and punching up to the ceiling. So we're not letting it swing out in front of us. In a kettlebell swing, it's very similar to a kettlebell swing in the sense that you can swing the weight past your knees and get that momentum going and then snap your hips and come up. It is not like a kettlebell swing in the sense that you are not letting the weight get out in front of you like a kettlebell swing. So try to find that crossover there. So in a snatch, there's two different ways to do a dumbbell snatch. You can start from the floor here. If you do, the head of the dumbbell that's away from you is the one on the floor here touching the floor. So you don't have to have both. You can have both dumbbell heads on the floor, but you don't have to. So if you're going from the floor, this is where we're starting. If you're going from the hang, which I recommend if you don't have a whole lot of hip mobility, if you're here and your torso is almost parallel to the floor and you can't get your hips down, don't start from the floor. My hips are pushed back, so we're starting with the hips back. We should not be starting with the knees forward and our torso up. Our torso is going to come forward just a little bit. So we're here. I'm going to go from a high hang or a low hang, so right below the knees here, and my arm is stiff to the side. I'm going to snap my hips, punch up. So if I was going slow motion, you'll see I'm here, I'm sliding it up, I'm shrugging my shoulder. So we're here, I'm shrugging, I'm extending the hips, I'm in full extension here, and then I'm snapping under the bar, or under the dumbbell, right? So let's do it on the other side. So we're here, I'm loading up in my hips, I'm going to snap my hips. Again, I'm not muscling it up. So if you see the pop in my hips, pay attention to that. So if you're going here and if this is what yours looks like, you're here, this is not what we want. Notice how slow I'm moving. And this is muscling it up right here, right? This is not what we're doing. We want to pop the hips. There should be speed every time you come up, right? Last thing to note is when you are coming all the way up and snapping the hips, I do not want your hand out in front of you. If you are snapping your hips and you're coming here with the dumbbell, that is not accurate. We want to be directly over the shoulder. This is going to cause an injury. This is safe and efficient, right? You notice what I'm doing there? So here, if you're coming out in front of you and swinging, notice too where my hips are. We don't want to hyperextend the hips, right? Instead, lots of power there, right? I'm lining up over the shoulders. Everything's lined up. It feels good. It feels more powerful.